tutorials on how to use the Regent render farm. First we're going to go and see what the Royal Render Farm help files are. This is where they are, this is where you can find them. This little graph right here explains the workflow, how you save, submit, send, load, write, and check jobs. The workflow is as follows. First, from your workstation, you will save your scene, and then you will submit your job, and then the server sends the job to all of your clients, and then the clients load the scene, render your frames, and then the server checks the jobs and frames and sends them back to your machine, which in this case is the X drive, where you can find them and get your files back. The render applications that the render farm supports are as follows. For 3D we have 3ds Max, we have Blender, Cinema 4D, Clarice, Houdini, Keyshot, Lightwave, Mandelbulber, Maya, Messiah, Modo, Rhino, Softimage, Terrigen, VRED, and View. More than likely, most of us will probably be using Maya predominantly, with Blender as well, and some people will most likely use Cinema 4D as well. It does support other applications, and these are right here: Archive Standalone, you have Arnold, Mantra, Maxwell, Mental Ray, Renderman, Redshift, and V-Ray. Compositing, you have After Effects, Fusion, Nuke, Shake, Katana, and in our other, mostly none of these other softwares will be used outside of Toon Boom Harmony. And even for the standalone archive renders, no one will most likely be using those either, as we don't support them. You can use separate plugins for each render software for 3D applications and Toon Boom. Plugins should be reported to Render Farm Maintenance on the Discord server, since plugins require or must be installed across the whole farm. That means that students should give them to Render Farm support. The Discord can be found at this URL, and there will be an invite link in the description below that everyone can go to and follow. The invite is set to never expire, and right now the current server is RU Animation. And in this server we have support sections and suggestions, information, and other sections of the chat that anyone can go into and request support for anything, any trouble that they're having. Usually response time should be within 5-10 minutes unless it's 4 AM. And now I'm going to show anyone who's not on campus how to use it outside of school. You must go and download Citrix Workspace in order to use and submit things from your home machine to the X drive. Now, you also need to be an animation student to use the Citrix applications, otherwise it will not work. So if you're not registered for an animation class, then you won't be able to do this, unfortunately. And you will have to either know someone that can submit your files, or I guess join the Discord server and ask someone to help you out. So we're just going to download Citrix Workspace for Windows. The current version is 2204.1. And I'm just going to cancel it out right here because I already have it downloaded. And to connect to Citrix, all you need to do is go to connect.regent.edu, and for the username and password sections, just enter your, essentially your Blackboard login, so your Regent username and password. And you will also need to download the receiver for Citrix if you don't already have it. Alright, and here I'm just showing my home computer just to show everyone what should happen as you log into Citrix from your home machine. So I'm going to go to that same URL, connect.regent.edu, going to log in as myself, going to go to my desktops panel, and there should only be animation for everyone, and then it connects to the school from Citrix, so from your home machine, through Citrix. And I've connected to the campus now, and I have some settings already set up in my preferences, and my file access in Citrix Workspace is set to be read and write for my files, which essentially means that whenever I open the File Explorer here, it lists my local disk drives, so my C drive and anything else that I have connected to my machine, so any flash drives or anything like that. So that means that with read and write access set in my preferences, I'm able to simply drag and drop from my home machine to the X drive, like any normal machine. So here I just show that. I go to my downloads folder, I grab a random file, and simply drag it onto the X drive. And now it should be listed there, and it should have worked perfectly. And here I'm just going to show that the file is actually on the X drive on the campus. So I'm going to the X drive and I'm checking that file that I put there through Citrix. And as we can see, it's right here, and it's not corrupted. It's, a normal file transfer.